Butter feels like the safest ingredient in your kitchen. You spread it on toast, melt it in pans, and trust it without a second thought. But what if the butter sitting in your fridge right now isn't what you think it is? Many best-selling brands are quietly using cheap oils, artificial flavors, and engineered additives that change far more than the taste. Today we're breaking down the butter brands every household should avoid. And the final one on this list is the most shocking example of how far companies will go to cut corners. Tankira Country Crock Original. For decades, Country Crock has been a staple in American kitchens. That familiar yellow tub sitting in the fridge promising home-style flavor and smooth spreadability, it looks like butter. It's displayed near butter, and millions of families have trusted it as their everyday butter alternative. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Country Crock Original isn't butter at all, not even close. Flip that tub over and read the ingredients. What you'll find is a blend of soybean oil, palm kernel oil, and palm oil, held together by emulsifiers like soy lecithin and mono and diglycerides. The creamy texture you love? It's engineered through chemical processing, not churned from fresh cream. There's also natural and artificial flavor added to mimic that buttery taste your brain expects. In reality, you're spreading a vegetable oil emulsion on your toast. 1 tablespoon of Country Crock contains around 90 milligrams of sodium and 7 grams of fat, most of it from refined oils high in omega-6 fatty acids. Excessive omega-6 consumption has been linked to inflammation and increased risk of chronic disease when not balanced with omega-3 intake. And because these oils are highly processed, they lack the nutritional benefits of whole food fats. What makes this worse is the marketing. Country Crock positions itself with rustic imagery and farmhouse branding implying wholesome, traditional quality. But there's nothing traditional about a lab-engineered spread designed to extend shelf life and cut costs. When you cook with Country Crock, you'll notice it doesn't brown like real butter. It doesn't add depth to sauces. It simply melts into a slick, flavorless oil. If you want real butter flavor and real butter benefits, Country Crock belongs nowhere near your kitchen. But that deception is nothing compared to the brand built on fooling you from the name alone. 9. I can't believe it's not butter. The name says it all. Or does it? I can't believe it's not butter has built its entire identity around imitating the real thing. The branding is playful, almost daring you to question whether you can taste the difference. But once you examine what's actually inside, you'll believe it immediately, because this product is about as far from real butter as you can get. The ingredient list reads like a chemistry experiment. You'll find a vegetable oil blend of palm kernel oil, soybean oil, palm oil, and canola oil, mixed with water, salt, and a cocktail of emulsifiers and stabilizers. There's soy lecithin for texture, citric acid for preservation, and both natural and artificial flavors to create that familiar buttery taste. Real cream or milk? Nowhere to be found in most varieties. 1 tablespoon delivers about 5 grams of fat and 85 milligrams of sodium. While the calorie count seems modest, the quality of those calories matters. The refined vegetable oils used here undergo heavy processing, including degumming, bleaching, and deodorizing, which strips away nutrients and can create oxidized fats that stress your cardiovascular system over time. The brand has also faced legal scrutiny. In past years, consumer advocacy groups challenged the misleading nature of butter substitute marketing, arguing that products like this one confuse shoppers into thinking they're buying something nutritionally comparable to real dairy. When you spread "I can't believe it's not butter" on warm bread, you'll notice it lacks the rich, creamy mouthfeel of actual butter. It tastes artificial because it is artificial. This isn't butter, and your body knows it even if the marketing tries to convince you otherwise. And if you think imitation is new, the next brand has been getting away with it for generations. 8. Blue Bonnet Spread. Blue Bonnet has been around since the 1940s, making it one of the oldest butter substitutes in America. Generations of families grew up with that blue and yellow packaging in their refrigerators. It's affordable, it's familiar, and it's been marketed as a sensible choice for budget-conscious households. But longevity doesn't equal quality. And Blue Bonnet Spread is proof that some products survive on price, not purity. Take a hard look at the ingredients. Blue Bonnet is made primarily from soybean oil, palm kernel, and palm oil, and water bound together with mono and diglycerides and polyglycerol esters of fatty acids. There's also natural and artificial flavor to simulate what real butter should taste like. Notice what's missing: actual dairy, actual cream, anything that comes from a cow. Nutritionally, 1 tablespoon contains around 7 grams of fat and 90 milligrams of sodium. For years, older formulations of Blue Bonnet contained partially hydrogenated oils, a direct source of trans fats linked to heart disease, elevated bad cholesterol, and increased inflammation. While the formula has been updated to remove hydrogenated oils in most versions, the spread remains a heavily processed product built from refined fats that offer little nutritional value. When you cook with Blue Bonnet, the results speak for themselves. It doesn't caramelize. It doesn't create that golden, nutty aroma real butter delivers when it hits a hot pan. Instead, it melts into a thin, greasy layer that adds moisture but not flavor. Bakers who've tried substituting it for real butter often report flat, dense results because the chemistry simply isn't the same. Blue Bonnet might save you a few dollars at checkout, but the trade-off isn't worth it. But convenience becomes the perfect disguise in the next one. If you're learning something new here, hit subscribe and keep these eye-opening breakdowns coming. 7. Parkay Squeeze Bottle. Butter in a squeeze bottle. Sounds convenient, right? Parkay built an entire product line around the idea that spreading butter is just too much work. Their squeeze bottle version lets you drizzle that golden liquid straight onto popcorn, vegetables, or pancakes with zero effort. But here's the catch. What comes out of that bottle has almost nothing in common with actual butter. Parkay Squeeze is made from a blend of soybean oil and palm kernel oil, combined with water, buttermilk solids, and a long list of additives. You'll find mono and diglycerides, sodium benzoate, calcium disodium, EDTA, and TBHQ, which is a synthetic preservative used to extend shelf life. Then there's natural and artificial flavor to create that buttery illusion your taste buds expect. The entire formula is engineered for pourable convenience, not nutritional integrity. 1 tablespoon contains about 6 grams of fat and 90 milligrams of sodium. The liquid consistency comes from increasing the water and oil ratio while using emulsifiers to keep everything from separating in the bottle. But that same engineering creates a product that behaves nothing like real butter when heated. It won't brown your garlic, it won't enrich a sauce, it simply coats your food in flavored oil. Parkay has faced criticism from nutritionists and clean-eating advocates who argue that squeeze butter products normalize ultra-processed fats in everyday cooking. The convenience factor encourages overuse, and before you know it, you've drizzled hundreds of calories of refined oil onto a single bowl of popcorn. If the ingredient list requires a chemistry degree to understand, that's your sign to put it back on the shelf. And the next one proves even the most trusted name can hide a quiet shortcut. 6. Land O'Lakes Light Butter Spread. Land O'Lakes is one of America's most trusted butter brands. Their regular salted butter, made from sweet cream and salt, is a genuine dairy product used by home cooks and professional chefs alike. So when shoppers see Land O'Lakes light butter spread on the shelf, they assume it carries the same quality, just with fewer calories. That assumption is a mistake. Light butter spreads achieve their reduced calorie count by replacing butter fat with water, air, and additives. Land O'Lakes light butter spread contains cream and skim milk, but also vegetable mono and diglycerides, gelatin, and soy lecithin. These ingredients are added to maintain a spreadable texture despite the lower fat content. But in the process, you're no longer getting pure butter. You're getting a diluted, processed version designed to hit a calorie target rather than a quality standard. 1 tablespoon of this spread contains around 50 calories and 5 grams of fat, compared to about 100 calories and 11 grams of fat in real butter. Sounds like a win until you realize that the richness, the flavor, and the cooking performance are all compromised. Try browning this spread in a pan. The high water content causes it to sputter and steam instead of sizzling into golden goodness. The real issue is the health halo effect. Shoppers believe they're making a smarter choice because the label says light. But you end up using more product to achieve the same flavor satisfaction, or you miss out on the genuine benefits that full-fat dairy can provide, including fat-soluble vitamins and satiety. Sometimes less isn't more. Sometimes less is just less. And the next spread shows how easy it is to hide processed oils behind a health halo. 5. Smart Balance Original. Smart Balance entered the market with a bold promise: a butter alternative that's actually good for your heart. The branding features phrases like supports healthy cholesterol and made with flaxseed oil, targeting health-conscious consumers who want to enjoy butter without the guilt. But when you dig into what Smart Balance Original actually contains, that heart-healthy image starts to crumble. The primary ingredients are a blend of palm fruit oil, soybean oil, canola oil, and olive oil mixed with water, salt, and natural flavor. There are also mono and diglycerides, soy lecithin, lactic acid, and vitamin additions meant to justify the health claims. While the product does contain some omega-3 fatty acids from added fish oil and flax, the amounts are minimal compared to what you'd get from whole food sources like actual fish or ground flaxseed. 1 tablespoon contains about 9 grams of fat and 90 milligrams of sodium. But here's the problem. The refined vegetable oils that form the base of this spread have been processed at high temperatures, which can degrade their nutritional quality and create oxidized fats. Studies have raised questions about whether highly processed plant oils truly benefit cardiovascular health or whether they contribute to inflammation when consumed regularly. Smart Balance has also faced criticism for implying clinical-level benefits without robust evidence. The phrase "heart healthy" sells products, but it doesn't guarantee that what you're eating is better than simple, real butter consumed in moderation. When you taste Smart Balance, you'll notice a slightly artificial aftertaste and a texture that feels oily rather than creamy. It spreads easily but lacks depth. Marketing claims don't make food healthy. Ingredients do. And the next one proves that the lowest price often hides the highest risks. 4. Imperial Spread. If you've ever shopped the bottom shelf of the butter aisle, you've probably seen Imperial Spread. It's one of the cheapest options available, often priced well below real butter and even below most competing spreads. For families on tight budgets, Imperial seems like a sensible choice. But there's a reason it costs so little, and once you understand what's inside, you'll realize the real price is your health. Imperial Spread is made from soybean oil, palm kernel, and palm oil, water, and salt, with mono and diglycerides, soy lecithin, and artificial flavor, rounding out the formula. There's no cream, no milk, and no actual butter anywhere in the tub. It's a fully synthetic spread engineered to look and somewhat taste like butter while costing a fraction of the price to produce. 1 tablespoon delivers about 7 grams of fat and 95 milligrams of sodium. The fats come entirely from refined vegetable oils that undergo extensive industrial processing. These oils are cheap to source, easy to stabilize, and have an incredibly long shelf life, which is exactly why manufacturers love them. But your body doesn't process them the same way it processes natural dairy fat. Consumer reviews frequently mention that Imperial Spread tastes plasticky or leaves a strange coating in the mouth. When used for baking, results are often disappointing. With cookies spreading too thin and pastries lacking flakiness, the product performs poorly under heat because it was never designed to cook like butter. It was designed to sell like butter. Budget-friendly shouldn't mean nutrition-free. Imperial proves that when the price seems too good to be true, it usually is. But one budget brand cuts corners in ways most shoppers never notice. 3. Great Value Vegetable Oil Spread. Walmart's Great Value brand dominates grocery aisles by offering lower prices on everyday essentials. For millions of shoppers, that yellow tub of Great Value Vegetable Oil Spread seems like a smart, economical choice. It looks like butter. It's priced below butter, and it's backed by a brand name associated with savings. But when you examine what's actually inside, you'll find that cheap comes at a cost your body pays later. The ingredients tell the real story. Great Value Vegetable Oil Spread is made from soybean oil, palm kernel oil, and palm oil, blended with water, salt, and mono and diglycerides. There's also soy lecithin, potassium sorbate as a preservative, and both natural and artificial flavor to mimic the taste of real butter. Actual dairy? Completely absent. 1 tablespoon contains roughly 7 grams of fat and around 100 milligrams of sodium. Every bit of that fat comes from highly refined vegetable oils sourced for low cost, not nutritional value. These oils are often extracted using chemical solvents, then bleached and deodorized to remove impurities. What remains is a neutral, shelf-stable fat stripped of any beneficial nutrients. In the kitchen, Great Value Vegetable Oil Spread performs exactly how you'd expect a cheap imitation to perform. It melts quickly but doesn't brown. It greases your pan but adds no flavor complexity. Bakers who've tried using it for pie crusts or biscuits report dense, Underwhelming results because the water content disrupts the flaky layers real butter creates. Walmart built its empire on value, but value means nothing if the product delivers empty calories and processed fats. And if you trust premium branding, the next spread shows why you shouldn't. 2. Shed's Spread Country Crock Plant Butter. Plant-based eating is on the rise, and food companies are racing to meet the demand. Enter Shed's Spread Country Crock Plant Butter, a product that positions itself as a cleaner, greener alternative to both dairy butter and traditional margarine. The packaging highlights olive oil, avocado oil, and plant-based goodness. It sounds like exactly what health-conscious shoppers are looking for. But look closer and you'll find this plant butter is far more processed than its natural image suggests. The ingredient list includes a blend of palm fruit oil, canola oil, and water, along with the advertised olive and avocado oils. But those premium oils appear lower on the list, meaning they're present in smaller amounts than the cheaper palm and canola oils. You'll also find pea protein, salt, mono and diglycerides, sunflower lecithin, natural flavor, and beta-carotene for color. This isn't churned plant fat. It's an emulsified, engineered spread. 1 tablespoon contains about 10 grams of fat and 90 milligrams of sodium. While the product is marketed as dairy-free and vegan-friendly, it still relies on heavily refined oils and emulsifiers to achieve its buttery texture. The processing methods used to create this spread involve the same industrial techniques that make traditional margarines ultra-processed. Consumer feedback often mentions that Country Crock Plant Butter tastes slightly off compared to real butter, with a waxy mouthfeel and faint artificial notes. It spreads easily but doesn't deliver the rich, creamy satisfaction you expect when you hear the word butter, even with the word plant in front of it. Premium branding doesn't equal premium quality. And at number 1 sits the spread that perfected the illusion. 1. Fleischmann's Original Spread. Fleischmann's is a name that's been in American kitchens for over a century, originally famous for yeast products that helped home bakers create fresh bread. That legacy of trust carried over when the brand expanded into butter alternatives. But Fleischmann's Original Spread has betrayed that trust in ways most consumers never realize. This is, without question, one of the most heavily processed butter substitutes sold in the United States today. The ingredient panel is alarming. Fleischmann's Original contains soybean oil, palm kernel oil, water, buttermilk, and salt, along with mono and diglycerides, soy lecithin, sodium benzoate, citric acid, artificial flavor, vitamin A palmitate, and beta-carotene. Some formulations have historically included partially hydrogenated soybean oil, a direct source of artificial trans fats that the FDA has acknowledged as unsafe for human consumption due to their connection to heart disease and stroke. 1 tablespoon delivers around 7 grams of fat and 105 milligrams of sodium, some of the highest numbers on this list, but the real danger isn't just the macronutrients. It's the cumulative impact of consuming artificial preservatives, synthetic flavors, and industrially refined fats day after day, meal after meal. When you cook with Fleischmann's, the results are underwhelming at best. It doesn't crisp, doesn't caramelize, and leaves a greasy residue that coats your mouth unpleasantly. Bakers report that pastries made with this spread lack the tender, flaky layers real butter delivers. The flavor is hollow, almost chemical, with none of the richness that makes butter a beloved ingredient worldwide. Fleischmann's Original Spread earns the top spot on our avoid list because it represents everything wrong with modern butter alternatives. Misleading heritage branding wrapped around an ultra-processed product built for profit, not health.